Please welcome to the stage Wilshire Boulevard Temple's Rabbi Joel Nickerson.
Morning, everyone. You know the famous part of the story of Esther, when everything is hanging in the balance, the Jewish people are threatened, Esther's in the palace, and Mordecai says, "Do not imagine that because you are in this palace that you are safe." Who knows? Maybe it's for this very moment that you came into your position of influence. Well, I believe that we are all here for a very important moment. A few months ago, back in December, in Los Angeles at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, where I serve as the senior rabbi at our campus in Koreatown, we were having a day-long summit between Jewish leaders and Korean American leaders focused on public safety in our city down in Los Angeles. But outside our doors, as we gathered together, protesters surrounded our building. And we have a big building. It's almost an entire block. They lit smoke canisters at the entrances. They had megaphones, and they were screaming out things that I will not repeat in your presence here this morning. Cars and people were blocked from entering our campus, which houses a preschool, a Jewish elementary school, and the Karsh Social Service Center. And I'm never going to forget this. Parents could not reach their children. At a synagogue in Los Angeles, parents could not reach their children. That is not a peaceful protest. That is intimidation. And after something like that, I think there is the human instinct to retreat, to lock the doors a little tighter, to speak more softly, to step back from the public eye. But Judaism does not let us do that. Al tifrosh min hatzipor. Do not separate yourself from the community. Lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. Do not stand idly by when your neighbor is at risk. Pikuach nefesh, the protection of life, comes first. Our tradition does not leave room for the comfortable choice when someone else's safety is at stake. So last month, I came up here to Sacramento to testify in support of AB 2664. I had 2 minutes, and they literally cut you off if you go over 2 minutes. By the way, a rabbi speaking for only 2 minutes. 2 minutes to tell the story of what happened at the synagogue. 2 minutes to speak on behalf of frightened parents. 2 minutes to speak for houses of worship without the security resources that we have at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. I told the committee that AB 2664 does not ban protest. It doesn't silence dissent. It says that when people enter or leave a house of worship, no one should be able to intimidate, obstruct, threaten, or harass them. A buffer zone is not a wall, it is a threshold. And then my 2 minutes were up. But 2 minutes can matter. One assembly member said on the record that he had been hesitant to support this, but after what he heard from myself and the DA of Santa Clara, that he was moved to a yes vote. And then another member who had planned to abstain from the vote also changed to a yes vote. And it's not because one rabbi gave a testimony. It's because that testimony was joined by over 5,000 emails and phone calls from our Jewish community around this state. 5,000 people who decided not to sit this one out. 5,000 people who reminded our elected officials that behind every bill, there are parents, there are children, there are communities, and there are stories. And that is why we are here today. Because lobbying is not just about politics. At its best, advocacy is a Jewish act. It is the refusal to be silent when silence would be a lot easier. It's the ability to transform fear into responsibility. And it's what happens when we bring our story into the places where decisions are made. So today, each of us is carrying a story. A story about why you schlepped here to Sacramento. A story about anti-Semitism. A story about the safety of our communities. A story about Jewish students. A story about Israel. A story about what it means to be a Jew in this country right now. So when we walk into those meetings later today, we don't need the perfect words. We just need to be honest and clear and human. Because somewhere there is a legislator who needs to hear it. There is a legislator who hasn't cast a vote yet. And as a result, somewhere in California, there is going to be a room that will be safer, a child who will be protected, a community that will be strengthened, and all because we all choose to speak. So Mordechai's question still rings true. Who knows if we have arrived at this moment for exactly this purpose? So today, let's answer with our presence. Let's answer with our voices. Let's answer by refusing to retreat, because 2 minutes can matter. And 5,000 voices can move a bill. And today, together, we can help move California closer to the society we know it can become. Thank you very much.